Right, for Harness Breeders Victoria and Breed to Succeed, just trying to get the message out there from some of the studs. We're going to catch up with five of the studs, actually standing horses that are Vicbred eligible. Of course, some of these studs have a couple other horses on their roster, but there we are here to promote the Vicbred and the Vicbred scheme. This has been proudly brought to you by Harness Breeders Victoria and the Breed to Succeed program, where we're trying to encourage people and also maximise their return on their dollar. So sit back, enjoy a couple of chats. People will be highlighting both their service fees and also a couple of the little stats around these horses. So sit back and enjoy hearing from these guys. It's Brett Coffey from Alabar is my first guest. Brett, thank you very much for joining me.
Always a pleasure, Paul. Nothing better than catching up with you.
I do appreciate it. It is late on a Friday afternoon. Trying times for breeders, bit of a challenge going ahead, and we've got to get the message out there that we still want people to breed. Breeding is fun. I'm going to pinch that one off someone, but breeding is definitely fun, and we want to get people to be aware of the stallions that are out there from both Alabar and all the other Victorian studs, and also some of the incentives you guys have got planned for this year.
Yeah, for sure, Paul. It's obviously it's it's an interesting time in harness racing at the moment, but look, there's still so many good stallions on offer, so many good breeders in this state that are really loyal to Victoria, and we're still seeing that, to be honest, with our bookings and the mares that have been booked into our stallions. It's really encouraging, and it makes you feel good when you see people in Victoria breeding to Victorian stallions, to be honest.
We'll quickly go through your stallions and we'll touch on your loyalty program in a minute, which is very, very exciting. So for people that have been with you, but your stallions, I should have counted them up before, Brett, but you've got quite a few stallions. They're trotters and pacers, but predominantly all of your Australian draft are Vicbred eligible. That's correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we've got 11 stallions based at our farm in Echuca. There's three trotters and 8 pacers, so it's actually the most trotters we've ever had on the roster. So it's exciting, and obviously one of them is our new boy tactical approach.
Yep, headed up, I suppose. Great to see Art Major still on there, superstar that he has been for this sport, full stop, so we must make sure we mention him. A couple of the newer horses coming in, tactical approach, he's arrived, so you'd be wrapped with that for a start. Yeah,
for sure. It was really, really cool when he got off the truck and you saw him step onto Australian sort of onto the farm. He's a really impressive looking stallion. And so far, he's doing everything right for us, in the collection and barn, and really settled in well. And getting some really, the quality of his book has been really, it's been really pleasing, and it gives you a nice, hits you right in the feel zone, seeing what the type of mares people are breeding to him.
Pebble Beach Elite Stride, they sold last year at the sales, were very well received on the trotting brinks. I shouldn't skip over Pebble Beach that quickly because he's in his third season, Brett?
Second season for Pebble, so he's just got foals dropping at the moment. Yep. So he's come back, and you always see that difference in the stallions the first year to the second year. He's come back and he's really grown up. Not taller obviously, but he's matured a lot from when he came last year. He's getting a good book again, and we've only got one foal by him on the farm, but all the reports I'm getting from other breeders across Australia, they're really, really wrapped with their Pebble Beach foals, and that's sort of consistent with what we're hearing out of North America as well. So he was a 3-year-old of the year in North America, and he's still the only male pacer to go sub 149 at both 2 and 3. So he brings a lot to the table, and for that sort of credentials, I think he's well priced. So he offers breeders a lot.
Elite Stride was so well received at yearling sales last year, both in Australia and in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, for sure. So he was a surprise packet, to be honest. He's obviously he's really well bred and was really wicked fast, but what they made at the sales and the homes they went to, it was really really pleasing. It was the sales were a little bit tough, to be honest, for us, especially, or not especially, but just a little bit tough. But the Elite Strides, they sold super. We probably should have bred more mares to him.
Yeah, and that's exciting. That's one of those value horses, isn't it? That a little bit down in the market, that people, like you said, they're gone to good stables, so they're going to get every chance, and you might be able to cash in a year or two at the sales.
Exactly, and that's the thing you got to look at as well. Like his 3-3, 3,300, including GST, and then multiple mare discounts on top of that. But we sold two of them for over 40 grand.
Yep.
Like that's a really good return on the sales. You know, if you do that, you'd be laughing. So there's there's diamonds there to be found in the rough. So and he could definitely be one of them.
Yeah, Ride High, first of theirs, sold last year as well and sold pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There wasn't a huge amount go through the sale, but ones that did, they sold well, and they've gone to nice homes as well. And the reports that we're hearing, we kept a few of them as well, and the reports we're hearing on them really, really encouraging. And I'd be surprised if he doesn't do something next year with what we're hearing with his rising 2-year-olds.
Ultimate Sniper is standing in Western Australia. Rock and Roll Heaven. We don't have to say too much about him. He's just been a champion sire for a long time, Brett.
He has, yeah. I know, like we all, a lot of stud masters throw around the best value sire, but I truly believe he is. He's had, in the last few weeks, Madam Publisher won the WA Oaks, and he's a punk rocker, won a Vicbred final, was really sensational in that Vicbred final. He just continues to get good results, and his advertised fee is 6,600, including GST. Like, for what he's done and what he continues to do, he's really, really good value, I feel.
I said there before about Art Major. He's a legend. That's the only way we've got to start celebrating. We do have to celebrate these champion sires that we've had. And he's definitely right up there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's just an incredible horse. Done an amazing job at stud. Continues to do an amazing job at stud. He's leading 2-year-old sire in Australia last year, leading 2-year-old and 3-year-old sire in New Zealand last year. Broodmares are doing it. He's still doing it for us in a big way. So he's you're in awe of him when you get to work with him as well. So it's just an amazing horse.
Now, did I see Always Be Mickey's fully booked?
Yeah, he is.
That's exciting. So that's really good.
It is, yeah. It is for sure. I've always loved the horse, and it's just really pleasing now to see him get the results, that I always thought he could get. Not just me, everyone's been involved with him, but he's you saw he won 2 Vicbred finals, fadeaways, etc. Like, he's just had a really good year this season, and to get that full book in this market, it's super pleasing.
A couple of live derby chances tomorrow night too, and
absolutely,
and actually Oaks as well. So yeah. Sorry.
No, exactly, yeah, and got. I'm not sure when this is going to air, but we've got Cold Chisel running later tonight, so hopefully he's won by the time this goes to air.
Yeah, well, that's exactly, and he is an exciting horse. Look, a lot of the Aussies won't know about him though, Brett. Like I think we get a little bit insular. We don't look outside, but if you get a chance to watch, even off the back of what he did last week against the big boys, Merlin and Sooner the Better was just outstanding. He ran second, I'm going to say, but he was just phenomenal. Yeah. So
no, he's a really good horse. Really good horse. I'm going to have a big future once he gets, as a 4-year-old and then older.
Yep. Captain Crunch, probably a little bit slow getting going, Brett, but especially in the States now, he's really starting to ramp it up, and some really good news stories coming back about him now.
Yeah, absolutely. He had 2. He had a sub 148. Sub 149 2-year-old at the Red Mile, and then and also one of the bigger 3-year-old winners at the Red Mile over the past couple of weeks, which has been really pleasing. He's getting a lot of winners down under. He just needs one of these ones to win a big race, and I think he's definitely got the opportunity over the next probably month or two, both in New South Wales and in New Zealand. So yeah, look, his book, is really, really close to filling as well. So the breeders like him, and that's always a good sign.
Majestic Sun now standing at Alabama and Echuca.
Yep.
What a champion trotter he's been. A loss for New Zealand trotting, but really our gain. And another horse incredibly well valued.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, he'll win another Australian Sighing Premiership this year. He's just a really cool horse, and I don't know what else you can say about him. He's just done a phenomenal job year after year. Still high up on the 2-year-old and 3-year-old list as well in Australia this season. Continues to get good juveniles and older horses, and he's done it all. And it's really, once again, really, really cool to have a horse like that standing at your farm.
Stats don't lie, that's for sure.
No.
Vincent, I know another favourite of yours, especially. I think I can say much maligned. Just does the job. He keeps. He gets winners everywhere. Horses like Vessam and that in New Zealand that are high quality horses, yeah, probably flies under the radar of a lot of people, but another incredibly well valued horse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You summed up really well there. He got a Group One winner over in WA, a 2-year-old filly this year in Raynette. Like just does the job, and as you said, really well priced. Gives people that, especially those people that want to breed the race, gives them an opportunity to breed a horse for not a huge amount of money and get a really good chance of getting a winner and getting a nice winner as well.
And you get that Art Major cross if you get a filly, Brett. Like his maternal side is as good as any in Australia and the Southern Hemisphere basically. So you've got that opportunity of having a broodmare again at a much discounted price to his father.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've got a real opportunity. And then the Storm Inside, you'd have to be happy with what's going on this year already with the Storm Insides, Brett. They're 2-year-olds
for sure,
and really starting to stamp themselves.
For sure, yeah. He's got 9 2-year-old winners now. From a relatively small crop of first crop 2-year-olds, and to get, he's got a couple of colts that race in big races. In the Storm Inside, the Storms Collide and I Am the Storm. They both raced in big races this season, and they both look, to me like they're going to be better 3-year-olds than they were 2-year-olds. So to do that off a small book, it wasn't the strongest book of mares you've ever seen. So he's now, last year and this year, going to be his 2 biggest books. So that's always encouraging as well, and it means the future's bright for him.
That 150.7 that he set, that was at Swan Hill?
Was at Swan Hill, yeah. Still he still holds, I'm pretty sure, still holds 2 track records, that and the Ballarat track record.
Yep, I was there that night and it was sensational to watch, I will say that. It was one of those great nights. Brett, you've got a loyalty program happening as well, in lieu of what's going on at the minute with the industry, and you guys have jumped on the front foot to announce a loyalty program. Yeah,
for sure, yeah. So for clients that have bred with us over the past 3 years, supported our Stallions, we want to support them. We're giving 2 $1,000 vouchers to people to use on a number of Stallions. It was Tactical Approach, Pebble Beach, Ride High, Vincent, and the Storm Inside, so 5 Stallions, and just give people, and it's, I don't know, just to encourage people and to breed, but also just to say thank you for supporting those Stallions as well, because, without broodmare owners, there's no Alabar. So it's just, we want to look after our clients and they look after us. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. And, when times are a bit tough, you all got to stick together and we'll get out of it.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, Brett. Well said. Go to alabar.com.au for the full list of Stallions, but also contact us and get involved with the guys there. You're only a phone call away. I think your phone number's on that contact page. So, Brett, thank you very much for joining me, and also, I think for Alabars for patronising the breeding industry so much here in Victoria and getting behind it. I think well done to you guys as well. Thank you very much, mate.
No, thank you, Paul, and thank you for all you do.
Right, now for Harness Breeders Victoria, catching up with Michael Stanley from Stanley Stables, of course, standing, as it says there, exciting sire, Soho Lanakai. Mick, thank you for joining me.
No worries at all, Paulie.
Great opportunity for people to breed to a impeccably bred stallion standing here, and a horse that's just doing an amazing job from very limited opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I think I say on my thing, he's the best value some beast somewhere, going in, probably not only Australia, the world. Like he's obviously he's got that line, and then his mother was a Group 1 winner, Queensland Oaks winner, American Ideal mare, who's out of just a sensational family that's just left group winners all over the place. Probably the most well known is Make Mine Cullen, as we all know, was a champion there. So he's got the bloodlines, and as you said, from just a handful of foals his first year, he's already left a couple of winners and a couple of nice place getters that look like they're going to be nice horses, and a Victoria size stakes heat winner and final starter. So it's been a great start from limited opportunity.
Just on that maternal family, like you said there before about Make Mine Cullen, and rightfully so, she's a champion mare, but Supersonic Miss went okay as well. Leonidas has gone to America and just continues to get the job done. I think that 48 was paced here, but he's also gone over to America. Good Time Heaven, she could have been anything. Sirocco, College Chapel. It's the family that you want to be involved with.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of our better families in Australia, and that's why we decided to breed with him. He was too good of a horse himself, and with his bloodlines, he needed to have a chance. And look, we hadn't really put him out there properly for people to go to the last few years. But hopefully now that he's got a few horses on the ground, and we just sort of wanted to get them out and be seen and make sure that he does a good job for people to have trust that if they send their mare that he's going to do a good job for them, which I'm really confident that he will.
13 foals of his first crop. He's already left, as you said, Captain Moore, 58-2, and Soho Empire State. Captain Moore, he's a beautiful horse, high speed, and loves the line, Michael. You must be wrapped with how he likes finding the line.
Yeah, exactly. As you said, he's got that speed, which is some beats somewhere's lead, but he's also really strong. He's he's a ripper. He's going to be a really nice horse for us for the future. And he's sort of got a Derby sort of type horse all over him with with those traits. So and so Empire State's probably a little bit the same. He's probably more strong than he is fast at the moment, but he's a really big fella. He's 16 one hands already as a 2-year-old. So once he goes out and comes back as a late 3-year-old, he's going to be a very nice horse as well. So he's going to be a versatile stallion, that's for sure.
Anyone wondering about the horse, he only had the one start, pace 54 on that occasion around Melton, easing down on the line too, which was the other part about it. But he was so impressive that day, Ryan Duffy in the bike, but he was just so impressive on that occasion.
Yeah, look, he was a super horse. Look, we were fortunate enough. We had a really good crop of 2-year-olds that year. We had Bara and Banner who paced 50 around Menangle, sitting outside the leader as a 2-year-old. We had Soho Bollinger who won 6 or 7 as a 2-year-old. Drain the Swamp, Soho Amazi, Rock and Roll Do came out of that crop. We had a really good crop, and early on he was the pick of the bunch out of a lot of them. So yeah, it was disappointing that we weren't able to race him on and fulfill that racing career, but hopefully he can do a better job at stud than what he was on the racetrack anyway.
Stands for $2,000. I know the first win bonus has been cut right back. There's no escaping that, but just ridiculous value. Again, another horse 2.5 times under what that bonus will be. So if you win a race, you get 2.5 times your return on your service. It's just amazing value, Mick.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, ideally, it'd be better off if we had that carrot there of the $12,000 bonus like it was this year. But as you said, he's still extremely cheap stallion to get involved with, and you only have to win a race to more than double your purchase. As a service there, as you said.
Yep. He's got the looks. He's a beautiful horse in himself. Stood over a lot of ground. He's got the breeding on his maternal side, and then that Sunbeat Somewhere cross. You don't have to look too far to see a son of a Sunbeat Somewhere leaving winners. Probably 4 in the next race that someone goes and looks at. So he ticks all of the boxes. Mick, if anyone wants to get in touch with you, I've got it up there on the screen again now, but it's actually the best ones to get in touch with Dad on 0407 849 465. That's the best way to get in touch, or just to see you at the races?
Yeah, I mean, that's the best way if you're going to call. He's sort of taking control of all that, lets me concentrate on the racing stable. But yeah, if anyone wants to come and see me at the races and that, obviously, come and approach me and we can discuss it there for sure.
Mick, thank you very much for joining me, mate. As I said, we're trying to breed to succeed. We want to maximise the return for people, and little hidden gems. Soho, Lanakai, people will start taking a bit more notice when they hit the ground. More of them hit the racetrack. Yeah,
no, I really appreciate giving us the time and wrapping him up, and hopefully we can get a bit of support. As you said, we know it's not ideal with the cuts and that HRV are announcing, and look, hopefully by the time, the new season starts, that at least it's, that's changed at least back to the $8,000 bonus would be great. So, let's still have our fingers crossed that still happens. But if not, we've got a good value sire there that's cheap, and hopefully people will still breed, and keep the industry afloat.
Mickey, thank you, mate.
Thanks, Paulie.
Right, joining me now with the Breed to Succeed and Stallion promotion is Louise Toolman from Harassed Trotters. Firstly, Louise, thank you for joining me.
No, thank you, Paul.
Here to promote these stallions and get the message out there about breeding and the joys of it, if you like. And we've got 3 stallions to touch on with yourself. EL Titan, always ready, and the much maligned ewes to me. But it's a good time of year this time of year. I noticed you guys have got plenty of foals hitting the ground.
Yeah, look, both out at Yabby Dam Farms and me personally out at our own farm, at my own farm here at Oakbank, we've got 7 foals on the ground and had a couple born yesterday. One of our mares is actually in New South Wales, and Alana foaled that down for us last night. So we had 2 yesterday. I love you fillies, yesterday morning, and a Dancing Loose fillies last night. So yeah, it's a great time of year, stressful and very tiring, but this is what breeders all do it for. To see these lovely foals hit the ground.
Absolutely. Now, the 3 boys are are at Goulburn Valley, but they can contact you guys is the best way to get in touch with them. The first horse we're going to highlight is the Muscle Hills Son, EL Titan. This is a huge opportunity for breeders here in Victoria to get a proven sire in the US. And not one season proven, like it's, I think, 3 or 4 seasons. He's been leaving winners over there with an amazing strike rate.
Yeah, no, look, he does have an incredible strike rate. We say that he's got the 3 Ps. He's got performance on the track himself as an individual racehorse. He's a proven sire by having a number of very small crops in the US, and you'll see that he's in the top 20 over there consistently, and his actual winners to starters ratio is really quite high when you think that he's only breeding, less than 40 each year. And of course, and then he's got a pedigree to die for. He's got, comes from that famed Cantab Hall line. And so, yeah, I think he's definitely, he's hitting the mark in the US. We've been very fortunate to purchase him last year. And I think he'll do the same here, especially seeing his first crop of foals that are hitting the ground here in Australia are extremely muscular, well put together, correct foals, which was something that we were told when we did purchase him that unlike some other Muscle Hill sons, he does leave a very well conformed individual, which we're personally seeing.
Yeah, it's really important too. Muscle Hill, there's so many stallions here already doing the job with Muscle Hill. He's just done an outstanding job, and he's a sire of sires. He just keeps leaving stallions that keep leaving winners, and it's so good to see. But Cantab Hall has really stamped itself, especially this last 12 months over here with a lot of his sons getting the job done. You've got this on the maternal line, so you've just got this amazing cross of Muscle Hill, Cantab Hall that just ticks so many boxes. And on both sides of the ditch, we are promoting the Vicbred, Louise, but it's just ridiculous what he's doing, in Australasian trotting.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't the bonus, like you just said before, the Cantab Ball, is on the maternal side of EL Titan. So I think people probably know that he looks like he's a nice stallion, but you sort of probably need to look through his pedigree page and just see the depth of winners that are coming out of each generation in his pedigree. So, yeah, it is, and he's got a brother that's doing, or a full brother, EL Ideal, who's doing a great job in Europe as well. So I think, for the price that we're standing him at, I think over a number of years, Harada Trotters have realised, what we believe is the sweet spot for, doing the right thing by ourselves and also the breeder, and pricing him at the 4,000 plus GST. But if you pay by the 31st of March, you get him for 3,500. If you've got a few mares that you want to send to him, or, have a combination of a couple of our stallions, we may be able to, trim that up a little bit more for you. But, yeah, we think he's extremely good value at $3,500 if you pay by March next year.
I said it to Duncan before with Sky Valley. You're getting value with the breeders bonus, first win bonus being cut back, but you're still getting a return on your dollar with that without winning the race. Like, you also get the prize money of the race on top of it. So makes this horse amazing value. Louise, the one thing I can say, as I said, all these horses are standing at Goulburn Valley. If you get the opportunity to go there and have a look at this horse, he's got just such beautiful personality. I was actually laughing. He talks to you, and not raw. He actually natters to you. He's a really cool sort of horse to be around, isn't he?
Yeah, look, he's a exceptional looking horse, as you would have seen yourself, Paul. He's definitely got looks to die for. And he's not an aggressive stallion by any means. He likes to show himself off. He's got a beautiful gait on him. And the bonus already this year, we had 3 positive preg tests reported. 2 days ago, the semen, went to 3 different states. So we got a positive pregnancy in Victoria, 1 in New South Wales and 1 in WA. So, that's always a positive for us as a stud that, we're putting out a horse that has good fertility as well.
Happy to put my hand up and say it still hasn't come, but there is one a little bit overdue here to file. So really looking forward to that. That is EL Titan for $3,500. We will go to the son of Ready Cash, always ready, Louise, and a little bit of a forgotten horse, if you like, of Australian harness racing. Of course, as a 2-year-old, he won the Vicbred Colts and Geldings final, and the 4-year-old, and he also won the Breeders' Crown. Just an exceptional racehorse. He won 11 of 15 starts as a 4-year-old and done a great job. But also just got this breeding, like Ready Cash. But then you go class of her own, and that speaks for itself. And it's a family that you've had so much to do with.
Yeah, look, I think Always Ready is probably one of those horses, maybe like a little bit like you said, Paul. His last couple of seasons, due to a couple of issues he had, probably weren't his best. So sometimes people sort of think back on what they saw last. But I think you need to go back and see what he as a 2- and a 4-year-old. He didn't race at all as a 3-year-old because he hurt himself in the Breeders' Crown final as a 2-year-old, where he still ran 3rd. But this horse is a, 2-time Australian Horse of the Year at 2 and at 4. So if you want to have a horse that is going to get out there as a 2-year-old, he proved that he was that himself. He's by the mighty Ready Cash that, he's just, he's probably the best horse in the world of sire of sires. He's an incredible sire himself, but he just seems to just continually produce sons that do the job. FaceTime Bourbon and Bold Eagle are 2 that are, really, really hitting the mark in Europe at the moment. But, then you add on to that Bird Parker, Brill Tissam, Readily Express, Back of the Neck. They just keep rolling them off your tongue. I think I read an article in France that, they named the top, 20 or 25 stallions that are standing in France, where we know how difficult that is and how many stallions stand there and the calibre that they are. But Ready Cash probably had somewhere between 12 to 15 of those stallions that are standing along with himself were by him. So we've got great faith in Always Ready. He's had a couple of little small test crops that Pat bred a couple of horses to him. One sold for over 20,000 at the sales last year. One recently that didn't sell at the sales. It's just been sold after being broken in for well over 20,000 as well. So I think, Always Ready, son of Ready Cash, $1,500 plus GST by the 31st of March next year is well and truly worth a gamble.
Yeah, again, that you get 1.5 times back, or a bit better than 1.5 times, back on your Vicbred first win bonus as well. You didn't touch on the maternal family too much there, Louise, but it's just a family, as I said, you know so much about. But let me through Sundon's Gift, and it goes on and on and on. She's a prolific broodmare herself, class of her own, but also comes from a prolific family that continues just to leave quality winners.
Well, I think the thing is now that we're all seeing that what Just Believe's done when he, got invited over to the Elite Lop, it sort of probably opened a lot of people's eyes about the Elite Lop, the class and the calibre of horses that run in those races over in Europe. So I think people are probably a little bit more informed now than what they were when a horse like Sundon's Gift went across, went to the Elite Lop. A lot of people probably don't know, but Let Me Through was invited to the Elite Lop. He didn't go, but here you are in this pedigree. You've got two horses that have been either invited or went to race in the Elite Lop. So it just shows, like you say, Paul, the depth of that family. And we all know that, it's one thing to have a good sire on the top line, but, the wealth, we can't underestimate the maternal side of a stallion either.
No, absolutely. And as you said there before, $2,000 standing for this season. But if you pay before the 31st of March, it comes down to $1,500, $5,000 first win bonus. That's huge for you. That's a great return on your dollar. If you're able to get it, of course, you've got to win the race, but the opportunity is there for people to be able to do that. The third of the stallions on the roster that are Vicbred eligible this year, Louise, is also Used to Me. Now, he's a beautiful stallion with a beautiful pedigree and the likes. He is a Group 1 winning stallion. Like, this is ridiculous, and continues to leave winners. He left a beautiful one the other day, Yarra Glen, out of Reina Danzante. He's another of these stallions, a little bit like Majestic Sun and Sky Valley. I think people take them for granted. They're there and they don't think too much about them, and he just does an amazing job.
Look, he does do an amazing job. Used to Me, he's definitely a bit of a favourite with a couple of people that work out at Harana Trotters, especially Bianca Briha, who does all our marketing sort of thing. Yeah, he is. He doesn't probably get the accolades that he should for the very small numbers that he's bred each year, and he probably hasn't had. The best brood mares going to him over those years either, but he just consistently just keeps throwing winners, horses that get to the track, don't care. Perfect example of just one of his best ones. He won the Vicbred Super Series as a 2-year-old, so he can get horses going early as well, I wouldn't be at all disappointed that if you bred to Used to Me and had a filly, I think, from his pedigree, I think we'll see from small numbers that he's got, I'm sure that we'll be seeing them as brood mares in the future.
Great to see you. Not Used to Me, Don't Care, stepping out tonight. We're recording this on the Saturday. Tonight, hopefully, he returns to the track for Kate Hargraves and everyone involved, because he's a very, very nice horse. He's got such a good story behind him too, with the Touring Harness Racing Club and so many other parts of it. And I think that sort of fits with Used to Me. He's just that feel-good sort of stallion, isn't he?
Yeah, look, he is. He's, he's a sire that... he stamps his foals. There's a large percentage just look like him. I think a couple of years ago we had a photo of Used to Me, and then we had a couple of these yearlings, that were prepping, and it was like, who's who? You know what I mean? Or what's this horse by? And, he does. He throws colour. He throws, some sense and about them as well. And, look, I think, he's $1,500, like we say. You're not breaking your bank to breed to him, and he's definitely and if you're one of those people that does want to breed, some people do want to breed and try to get a flashy horse, he's definitely one you should be looking at.
Yep, well, don't forget Sonny G, who had immense ability and unfortunately no longer with us, but he had those rock star looks as well. As you said there before, $1,500 if you pay on the 31st of March, $1,750 as he is there today. But like I keep saying, that's 2.5 times the Vicbred at the minute. It is hard times. That's what we're getting this message out there for, so people are aware of what is around and the value there. But the commitment, I think, Louise, from both Harasta Trotters, I will say yourself, with Pat as the boss, but also Duncan McPherson in Aldebaran Park, Alabar Farms, and also Kath McIntosh with some of her incentives. Such an exciting time, albeit we are having a bit of a hardship. There's just a real opportunity for people to be able to get massive value with some quality horses.
Look, I think that's the thing is, let's be honest, nobody wants to hear about cuts, doesn't matter what industry you're in. But, now's the time, passionate people are out there, these stallions that, we've highlighted from Harada Trotters today, they're not, high-priced stallions. They do have good fertility, we can sort of, bang, hopefully, people should be able to get their mare in foal at a reasonable price and sort of, still go back to the passion of, why we love our industry and, we need horses on the ground. To continue that to prosper. And, I'm positive that, I know I'm a little bit of a supreme optimist, but, I'm positive that, we know what's going on in Victoria now. Yes, there's been a little bit of a hitch in the respect to the Vicbred bonus, but, the three stallions that I just, or two of the three, they were on a $9,000 bonus. Now they're on a $6,000. It's $3,000 over the,
Yep.
It's not massive really. And, we sort of just need to be really positive about, trotting in Victoria and where it's going and, be excited about, what we're breeding and the calibre of horses that we're going to be blessed to be able to watch tonight at Melton.
No, absolutely. If people want more information about these or any of the other stallions, go to harastatrotters.com.au. You'll be able to go there. You can click on the links for the stallions. There are, of course, a lot of other stallions on there, but the three boys we've highlighted are the Vicbred ones. Louise, thank you very much.
No, thank you, Paul, and thanks to Harness Breeders, Vic, for putting this together.
Absolutely. We need to breed to succeed. That's what this is all about, and we want to continue that. Thanks, Louise.
Thanks, Paul.
Right, Aldebaran Parks, Duncan McPherson now joins me. Duncan, you've got two very exciting trotting stallions, both eligible for the Vicbred. Thank you for joining me.
Pleasure, Paul, and thanks for having the opportunity to, talk about the two boys that are at Aldebaran Park.
Yep. We might start with Dancing in the Dark.
Sure.
The fastest two-year-old trotter ever imported to Australia. That in itself is a big, massive tick. And then you've also got the fourth fastest trotting stallion of all time standing here in Australia, in Victoria, and he's Vicbred eligible. It's a unique opportunity.
Yeah, look, Dancing in the Dark, he's got an amazing pedigree. When his mother Layla is by Andover Hall, and we all know about Andover Hall down here, probably hasn't done the job that we thought he'd do as a stallion, but he's definitely done the job in the USA, particularly with his broodmare band. And then his Dancing in the Dark sire is Redley Express, and for those in Australia who don't know who Redley Express is, he's probably one of the most sought after. He is the most sought after stallion that Manhammer, the Terry, have on their roster up in Sweden. He's filled a full book for the last 4 years. So, and this fella was born in America. They sent Manhammer owned the mare, and they sent the mare back to Sweden, put it in foal to Redley Express, who they own at the farm over there in Eckerö, just north of Stockholm, and then took the horse back and Layla foaled Dancing in the Dark. And as you said earlier, he broke a track record at his first ever race start in the US, and then had the good fortune of going 149 and 3. So to think that we've got a stallion of that speed capability down here to inject speed into Southern Hemispherical trotting is quite amazing. And he's standing his third season now, and we've had the good fortune, Aldebaran Misty, who's a Group 1 100,000 K earner, have just thrown a colt this morning. So everyone at Aldebaran Park's pretty excited, and his third season of progeny are starting to hit the ground, and as they are here and also over in New Zealand. And the progeny has hit the ground in New Zealand. Dave McGowan's got a couple, and he's a pretty shrewd breeder. And his fillies over there that he's put on the ground in the last 2 weeks, he's very excited about. And we're only talking to him yesterday. So all things being equal, at the right price, we're fresh as best at Aldebaran Park for 4,000 plus GST. It's an amazing opportunity, and we welcome anyone that wants to go and look at the progeny that are on the ground at the farm, and they can look at the stallion at the same time. So we're open for visitation and business at the farm for people that may be interested in Dancing in the Dark.
One of the a couple of little stats you've got there, Duncan, like as you said, 52 3 as a 2-year-old, and then 49 3 these two best marks, which stand test of time anywhere. But for commercial breeders, there's so many trotters around that are so commercially bred, and serving 130 mares in his first 2 seasons. There's going to be plenty of them around. They're going to be showing their wares. That's outstanding. And as you said, this is his 3rd season now. This is the toughest season for these horses because people are waiting now to see what they can do. But just an amazing amount of foals or mares served already.
Yeah, and I mean, we've given him a pretty good opportunity at Aldebaran Park. Obviously, we've sent a fair few of our broodmare band there, and we've sent a couple, or quite a few more there to him again this year to keep his stats up. But to show what esteem he's held in, we've actually had him before we got breeding this season down here, and obviously exporting chilled semen to New Zealand. The stud in Sweden and the owner in Sweden rang us, so we actually sent him to Golden Valley Equine, and for 7 weeks he was collected under quarantine, and we have a tank of semen, 50 straws or 50 serves going back to Sweden for their breeding season, which starts up there in late January, early February. So they regard him highly enough in Sweden after his racing performance in America to ask us to collect him, and we've got a tank ready to export, and I don't know how many tanks have ever been exported back to Sweden, but if this is the first, well then Dancing in the Dark take a bow.
Sky Valley, the second of the boys we're going to highlight today. I spoke to Brett Coffey earlier with Majestic's son. Sky Valley's in that same boat. Forgotten horses of our industry. The contribution they've done to the trotting gate is second to none. Both those horses continue to knock out winners and just quite achievers, both of them. You must be so proud of the job that this bloke's been able to do for you and for your brand, Duncan, over the journey.
Yeah, I mean, as you said correctly, Majestic Son and him have been head-to-head. Majestic Son has got an amazing result for his overall progeny rating, but then I don't underestimate Sky Valley. He's the leading Australasian colonial stallion for the last 9 to 10 seasons. He continues to produce winners, which we know. His percentage of winners to starters is an amazing 68%. Total prize money of his progeny is now in excess of $6 million, with an average per starter of just over $38,500. So for a $2,000 service fee, which we've held the whole way through his stud career, to allow him to be affordable to everybody that can access him. And then, even as recently as last night, Picket Wire at Geelong brought up its 3rd win in a row and took a lifetime mark just a tick over 58. So a 4-year-old, and then, as we all know, there was an amazing performance by a 2-year-old at Charlton the other week, and whether they're 2-year-old or 4-year-old or over in Western Australia where they keep winning as well, he just continually, every week, he's got winners somewhere around Australia, and we're just very proud of him, and he continues to perform at the highest level with progeny that are all stakes winning, Group 1 winning every year.
Yep, I can be self-indulgent, mate. We also had a 3-year-old just outside the track record around Ararat, sitting in the deaf. He throws everything, fillies, colts, the whole box and dice. Tornado Valley, obviously his flagship horse, but we can't forget Pink Galahs, and she could have been anything. I mean, it was well reported as a few of the issues she had. She was an exceptional horse as it was, but if she had been sound, she might have been above Tornado Valley as a flagship horse for him. She was that good. 7 Group 1 winners, 6 Group 2 winners, $7.8 million in stakes, and then 21 horses over $100,000 in stakes. It's just, they're amazing stats, and as you commented just there before, $2,000. With the cutbacks on the Vicbred, this horse is so appealing because you'll still get 2.5 times your service fee with that first win bonus.
Yeah, I mean, he's proven, and I mean, this is the thing that still amazes us. I mean, whilst his progeny may never have been as sought after as we all would have liked at the yearling sales over the years, there is no doubt that if there's a breeder in Victoria who wants to go to a fresh stallion that's proven, I would hasten to, or not even hesitate to say that this bloke is, if he's not value for money with $38,000 per winning starter, then I'll go he for Tiggy. And as you pointed out, if you can get 2.5 times your breeder's bonus or your stud fee when you win your Vicbred, even though it's been reduced, it's still a good, handsome return on invested funds. And at $2,000, and he still puts them in foal. He's never had any fertility issues, and we're quite excited. And I mean, to be fair to him, we have had a lot of inquiry this year since the recent announcements, and it all goes well for him to again put some progeny on the ground. And it was only 3 years ago when the Vicbred was advertised as, as an increase in return for those investors, and unfortunately they may not get it, but he served 100 mares that season. So when affordability is considered and he's still doing 100 when he was 16 years of age, it just goes to show that he's held in very high regard by the breeding industry in Victoria and around Australia.
No, absolutely proven sire, and that's what we want. Duncan, Aldebaran Park, best way to get in touch with you guys?
Look, the website www.aldebaranpark.com, or feel free to, all the information's there, the brochures, the booking forms, and how to get in touch with Danny Thackeray. And Danny's phone number, for those that might want to jot it down, is 0407 223 819. The farm's there. We welcome people to come and have a look, not only at Sky Valley, but Dancing in the Dark, the progeny, the mares, the foals and the yearlings, and it's booking by appointment only, but Danny's more than happy to take anyone around and show them. We've always had an open gate policy for people to come and have a look. So we wish every breeder the best of success in this season, and may their progeny hit the track and grace the Group 1 barns. And as we say at Aldebaran Park, fresh is best, and we're hot to trot at Aldebaran Park.
And we're going to throw one more in, breed to succeed, because Harness Breeders Victoria, that's what we want. We want people to breed to succeed, to stay in this game. Duncan, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure, Paul. All the best, and all the best to the breeders for the current season. Cheers.
Right now, for Harness Breeders Victoria and Breed to Succeed, Dr. Kath McIntosh from Lower Long Farms has joined me. Firstly, thanks for joining me, Kath.
No worries at all, Paul.
We're getting the message out, and you've got some great incentives, which we'll touch on at the end of it. But it's a very, very busy season, and I know you've taken 5 minutes out of your day on a Saturday to give me the time. It is a great time of the year, though, isn't it?
Oh, super. We've got foals arriving, breeding mares. It's a good time of the year for sure.
There is some exciting stuff happening around your website as well, but go to nrequine.com.au right at the minute and click on the Stallions to be able to follow the horses that we are showcasing here. And we're showcasing the Vicbred horses, so there will be one stallion that we'll miss because that horse isn't Vicbred eligible. But the first one, Kath, we are going to highlight is Help is on its way. This is a frozen semen trotter, but is Vicbred eligible. That's a very, very important thing we need to get out there.
Yeah, so Help is on the way. He's a lovely trotter. He's by Chapter 7. So Chapter 7's the sire of Walner, and Chapter 7 and Walner combined have just done amazing things in the US to the breed over there. They're dominating every age category in terms of offspring race performance. It's just insane. And yeah, to have that bloodline down here with Chapter 7 for Help is on the way, he stands at $5,000 plus GST. And he is frozen semen. His frozen semen quality is very good. I saw the horse in February this year. He's a very handsome individual, good-natured horse, and he's also very fertile. And, he's got his biggest group of young ones just starting to come out in the track over in the US. So, so he's a very exciting stallion option for people for the trotters. And that sort of, I guess, links into King of the North, Paul, which is the next...
Just on him for one very quick second, Kath, just one thing I think people need to be aware of. You see there, as of June 2024, Help is on its way. He's had 107 starters in North America, and they've earned over $4 million. Relatively unknown over here, but doing an amazing job in America.
Yeah, he is, and he's, I think the best is yet to come with him still too. So, that's from his first couple of crops of mares, and he got, people like them, like the foals, like the yearlings, like how they broke in, obviously how they're racing now. So now he's getting better mares for his breeding. So he's only, that's a great achievement on its own, but he's only going to get better and better.
And like a lot of these frozen semen stallions now at a much, I suppose, more competitive rate, Kath, if you like, at $5,500, very, very accessible for anyone to be able to breed to him.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have any other Chapter 7 down here. So that's, it's a great option.
No. King of the North is the next of the horses we are going to highlight, and he has a $100,000 bonus. Kath, we will touch on that at the minute, but this horse I was lucky enough to see last year when he arrived off the truck, and serious racehorse with a serious pedigree. He ticks a lot of boxes for anyone wanting to breed a high-quality trotter.
Absolutely. Being a son of Walner, so we've got the Chapter 7 in in Helpers on the Way, which also, by the way, is available in Australia and New Zealand.
Yep.
And then King of the North being the son of Walner. He's the best performed son of Walner. He's also out of a champion broodmare in Check Me Out, which I really love having that high performance on the dam side. He's this is his second season here, and he's a beautiful natured stallion, really good looking, really athletic, and we're really happy with the foals that we've got on the ground arriving. They're just good, strong types. And on top of that, he's really fertile, King of the North. So had someone from New Zealand contact us the other day to say their Mary Gordon foal first up, and they were really happy because they said in the past they've had lots of trouble with her fertility-wise. So, he's a good and fertile, which helps everybody.
You can see his pedigree page there on the screen as we see it, but encourage people to go and have a look at some of the race wins by Check Me Out. She checked out one day in one of the races, and going from there. Stands for 7,900 here in Australia, 7.6 for our New Zealand friends, and eligible for the $100,000 bonus if you breed to him this year, Kath.
Yeah, that's right. So you breed him this year. In Australia, if the progeny come out and win the 2-year-old Vicbred final, then you'll get a $100,000 cash bonus. In New Zealand, if the progeny come out and win the 2-year-old size stakes, then you're eligible for a $100,000 cash bonus.
Poster Boy, we are going to be quickly over him, Kath, because exciting for the stud that he is booked out, and you have already got a waiting list for the 2025-2026 season, but he is a Vicbred eligible stallion, so we don't want to miss him, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, it's really exciting for us for him to have a full book, and with people going on the waiting list already for next year, it's phenomenal. But yeah, his progeny keep on leaving. He keeps on leaving winners, and they're beautiful stock to go with it.
Yep, the Vicbred Pure banner was up there. Of course, Vicbred Pure is no longer here, but he is definitely Vicbred that's going there. Past Stephen, we talk about lines and trotters that are definitely working in Australia and New Zealand, down south, and in the northern hemisphere as well. But being a son of Cantab Hall, Cantab Hall. I had it right the first time. He's a huge opportunity. And you only have to watch New Zealand racing last night, the job that Father Patrick's doing over there, and he's a full brother to him. Like, he's got so many boxes ticked, Kath.
Yeah, he's I just can't wait for his crop of 2-year-olds to come out next year. He had quite a sizable year at stud, which was the first year he physically stood here, and the people I've spoken to that have broken in the yearlings are just so happy with how they go. They're big and strong, and just want to trot the house down. And he's impeccably bred. His 2-year-old trotting colt of the year, and that 2-year-old, goes through his whole breeding line, including his brother, Father Patrick. But being a son of Cantab Hall, we know, the Cantab Hall guys, you look at Bolstead, he's been a freak. They Pastor Stephen stands at 3.5, including GST. So he's, certainly great value for money for people, and a beautiful horse and progeny that he leaves.
Raging Bull, another beautifully bred stallion, but man, he's got some beautiful looks, and he's part of one of the incentives that we're going to get to at the end of this interview. But he's a beautiful horse and leaving winners both in New Zealand and Australia as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So his first crop of foals only arrived in Australia last year. And once again, the reports from being broken in are really favourable. The horses we see currently racing in Australia are those that were bred from the few years that he stood in New Zealand, where he had relatively small books of mares. And he runs at about a 70% strike rate of winners to starters. So he's getting them on the board, and they're quite impressive. They're racing all over New Zealand, all over Australia, and they're doing a job, and they've certainly got plenty of high speed. So, and that's what he's leaving in his progeny, is that real high speed. And so he's exciting. We're looking forward to those 2-year-olds coming out next year and doing a job on the track. And this year, Raging Bull is part of our multi-mare discount on the back of the reduction in the Vicbred. Is part of our multiple mare discount with Soho, Tribeca and Yankee Rockstar, whereby if you breed a minimum of 2 can be more, but minimum of 2 mares to either of the 3 stallions, so Hocho Becca, Raging Bull, and Yankee Rockstar. Then the multiple mare discount will be $1,000 plus GST as service. So you could breed 2 to Raging Bull, and your discounted fee would be $1,000 plus GST, or you could breed 1 to Yankee Rockstar, 1 to Raging Bull, and the same deal applies. So, so that's the multiple mare discount on the back of this massive reduction in the Vicbred first win bonus.
Yep, but he is a super exciting horse, and he had a great race record as well. He only had the 10 starts, but 5 of those wins, and was super impressive and really turned heads. But haven't seen the horse in the flesh. That's one of the great ticks about him. He's got rock star looks. There's no worries there at all. You said there before about the Stallion incentive, and you can double down on it now, Kath. But Soho Tribeca. He's had a massive week. He's had 3 individual winners. He quinelled the 2-year-old. It was a 2-year-old at Bendigo as well. So he signed both the 2-year-old winners at Bendigo, and I think it was last night. I think it was Geelong last night. He had another winner. I keep saying he's had the rubber, the green's just been beaten short half heads. It's starting to turn for this horse, and he's going to really turn heads very shortly, I reckon.
Absolutely. I mean, a son of American Ideal, he's impeccably bred. He was a brilliant performer on the track. You know, he was tough, he had speed, and, $1.1 million in stakes. Like, there's a lot to love about him. And, he's had a brilliant week on the track with his 2-year-olds, and I really think we're going to see something special next year as they become 3-year-olds. And, he's, and probably we'll see a few more of them out winning before the end of the year, I'm tipping, so that they can secure their bonus. He will be a future star, and I think I'm anticipating by next year he'll be also the one that'll be book full and closed, because people will really see just what his progeny are made of.
He's a beautiful horse. He's got a beautiful race record. He's by American Ideal, who's leaving plenty of sires that are doing a great job both in America and down here. That maternal family, though, is second to none here in Australia, and it's a little bit of the whole thing that I've been doing, Kath. It's an embarrassment of riches as some of the pedigree families that we have, but Pixel Perfect is right up there as one of our all-time great maternal lines.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's been Australian Broodmare of the Year. Amarillan is Grand Am Australian Broodmare of the Year. It's an incredible broodmare family, and we just love to see that strength in a stallion's pedigree. He's and really they've done really well in the yearling sales. Like his yearlings might make 20 or 25,000, but remember the service fee is only 3,000. So yep. He's getting brilliant return on his service fee in the sales, and as part of this deal with the multi-mare discount, that'll even be further enhanced, I think.
Yeah, Kev, I'm going to go to the Yankee Rockstar, because he's the third of these horses. So we want to make sure that people are aware of the 3 stallions that are involved in this amazing initiative that yourself and the owners of these stallions have come up with. A little bit of a forgotten horse, if you like. He's the full brother, half brother, to Pastor Steve. Not Pastor Stephen, Poster Boy. But another beautiful horse with. Again, you got to be so careful when you say about Pixel Perfect, because Aston Villa's just done an amazing job in the breeding barn as well, and continues to leave stallions, which is so exciting.
Yeah, and hats off to Aston Villa. Once again, another Australian Broodmare of the Year. So we're pretty fortunate to have such a class of lineup of stallions that has such strength on the dam side, and the fact that she's left 2 stallions now is incredible. And she, Poster Boy, Yankee Rockstar is a beautiful horse. He's terrific to deal with, and he's had 27 winners now, and he hasn't had very big books each year, so he's doing a really good job for the numbers that he's had. They're good, strong horses. They're tough race horses like him. We saw, I've been seeing some really nice races by Rockstar Leo of late up in the Golden Valley. And of course, Rock Artist, he's over in Western Australia. He's a Group 1 winning son of Yankee Rockstar, and he's kicked over the 100,000 now as well. So,
and he's
done a terrific job off very small books of mares.
and he does stand for $1,980, but he is part of that incentive. And we will actually double down on that in a minute, Kath, before we finish, because I think it's a unique opportunity for people to be able to get involved. But both he, Raging Bull, and Soho Tribeca are all basically, if you breed 2 mares to any of those 3 horses, you'll for $1,000 plus the GST, you've got a unique opportunity, which is incredible. And we, as I said, we will touch down on that. Kev, I just want to double down on this incentive with because it's a unique opportunity for people to, I suppose, may have been a little bit disenfranchised, if you like, with the breeding industry and what to do. So with the Raging Bull, Yankee Rockstar, and Soho Tribeca, and as I said there before, 3 2-year-old winners last week alone for Soho Tribeca. I'll just get you to explain it to people again how it all works, and make sure people are aware of it, and to get in touch with you guys because there are a couple other little parts that have come up, I suppose, since, and you've been able to help people out with.
Yeah, so, there's no doubt there is a lot of disappointment at the moment within Victoria, but I guess what we're trying to tell people is that what you're breeding now is you're breeding for 3 years in the future, and, it could be a vastly different landscape by the time we get to then. So to encourage people to continue breeding, and also for as a reflection in the decrease in the Vicbred first win bonus, we are offering a multiple mare discount for the Stallions, Soho Tribeca, Raging Bull, and Yankee Rockstar. So if you breed 2 mares or more to any of those Stallions, then their discounted service fee will be $1,000 plus GST. Their service fees still remain the same. So if you breed a single mare, you will still pay their normal service fee. But if you have multiple mares, then this is the discounted opportunity available.
So Kath, one of the confusing things a few people have asked me, Soho Tribeca stands for $3,000 plus GST. If I bred 2 mares to him, how much am I paying you?
$1,000 a service fee.
So $2,200. If I sent 2 mares to him, it'll cost me $2,200 to produce 2. So I needed to say it that way because I think a few people have been a little bit confused. They think it's $3,000 and then the second one's $1,000. No, that is not the case. It is $1,000 each serve. And just to make sure that they're aware, you can send 1 to Soho Tribeca and 1 to Raging Bull, or 1 to Raging Bull and 1 to Yankee Rockstar, or any of those multiple. It doesn't have to go just to the one Stallion, as long as you go from there. And Kath, just a little important thing that's come about since, that you've had a few people who want to stay involved in breeding but don't actually have a brood mare, and there is the opportunity of potentially being able to help facilitate that with the band of mares that you've got in Lower Long Farms.
Yeah, we have had that people inquire about breeding and leasing some mares, and it's actually solving a bit of an issue, because there are some people that have said, oh, well, we want the foal on the ground, but we don't want to breed from the mare going forward. So now is an opportunity for those mares to be leased and bred, and maybe by the time we get 12 or 18 months down the track, those people may have changed their mind and decided to breed back to the mare. So I think that's, it's important, because there's a lot of wastage going on the back of a lot of these announcements, and it is a welfare issue. So it's really good to see, that people can not necessarily have to invest in a mare, but they can lease one easily and get themselves a lovely foal.
No, absolutely, Kath. We want people to breed to succeed. It's a great name for a show. Well done to you, and thank you very much for joining me. And for anyone that wants to get in touch, go to nrequine.com.au, and you'll be able to see the Stallions, but get in touch with Kath directly as well at Lower Long Farms, both on Facebook or most of your socials as well. So Kath, thank you very much for joining me.
No worries, thanks Paul.
Right, that's a wrap from the HBV, I suppose, Vicbred Stallions, and the list of them. And you can go to HBV for more information. Go to hbv.org.au. That number is scrolling there underneath. To go there, you can click on the Breed to Succeed to see more of these interviews and promotions as we've been doing them. Please get in touch with the crew there. Also, become a member. You want to make a difference, become a member of HBV. You just go to the membership section there as well. So I encourage people to get involved with the industry and continue to breed to succeed. Thank you very much.